entire chair class today. So we've actually had a few good blood pumping, get our body moving classes. And I thought, and it would be really helpful to offer up a strictly chair class. I've had a few requests for that. And so today's class is going to be done completely from the chair. So just make sure that you have a good sturdy chair underneath you. A kitchen chair works really well. And then also, if you have around a strap, so anything will work as a strap, anything like a belt or a couple ties, a long scarf. It's been recommended even a pair of leggings or nylons, they could work really well. Something that doesn't have too much stretch, but that you have a fair bit of length to it. Okay. As well, close by, you might want to keep a large pillow, maybe a blanket for Savasana. If you have a couple similar sized books, they're nice to use as blocks under the feet, especially if your chair's a little bit higher and your feet kind of hover from the floor. So go ahead, take a moment if you like and collect up all of those supplies if you have them. If you don't have them, don't worry about it at all. I will give you some suggestions on how to move and practice without any of those props. And then once you've collected up your props, come and sit in your chair, mid-chair. So your hips are actually away from the back of the chair, sitting comfortably about center chair with your feet flat on the floor. Your hands can rest palms up or down onto your thighs. And then starting to lift up through the spine, sit up nice and tall. If it's comfortable for you, go ahead and close your eyes. If you'd rather today to keep your eyes open, do so, but let the eyes soften. And start to feel your breath. Notice the gentle process of inhaling and exhaling. Allowing the observation of breathing to help calm the mind and draw you inwards. So no matter what you have going on in your day, what you have going on around you, whether that's a lot or not much, not allowing any of that to really pull you out of the observation of your breathing. Starting to develop that ability to focus, one pointed focus onto the breath. Feel a very subtle drawing upward sensation through the head, through the neck, helping to start to create a little bit more length through the spine. Sitting up as tall as you can without coming to a place that feels full of tension or rigid. Let there still be an ease to your seat. And now keeping the lips gently touching, let the lower jaw drop a little bit. Create some space in your mouth. And then start to move your tongue around in your mouth. Build up some saliva in the mouth and then swallow. And allow that swallow to drop all the way down into the belly. Feel that sense of release that comes with swallowing. Let it drop all the way down to the belly. Letting your attention and your awareness settle into the belly. Start to feel the natural movement of your belly as you breathe. Beginning to extend the length of your inhales and exhales, creating a deeper belly breath, coming to your yogic breath. A breath that is full and complete, but does not bring tension into your experience. Maintaining that full yogic breath, start to turn your head from right to left, nice and slow, creating some movement in the neck. You might keep your eyes closed here, or you might start to open the eyes, but let the eyes be quite soft. There's not a whole lot to see right now, but there's lots to feel, to experience. The next time your chin comes towards the right, let your chin drop down towards the right shoulder, glide it across your chest and lift it up over the left shoulder. Then let that chin drop back down to the left shoulder, glide it across and up over the right shoulder. And again, down and across the chest to the left. Depending on what's going on in your neck and spine today, you might stay with this gentle half circle motion or with that side to side turning. And if it feels okay for your neck, there's no injury there or osteoporosis, take your next inhale to let the chin lift up. Drag it across the ceiling and down, circling the head around. Using your inhales here to support the head as it rolls back. And then exhaling to let the head come down and across. And then try changing directions, go the other way. Again, you're welcome to stay with that side to side turn or that little half circle motion. Any motion here through the neck is beautiful, it's perfect. You're just trying to create a little bit of motion there, a little bit of movement. Good. If you're taking full circles, pause when the chin comes back towards the center of the chest and then lift the chin up, sit up nice and tall. Take the palms forward now, open them right up nice and wide in front, and then curl all 5 fingers of each hand in. Again, expand the fingers out nice and broad, and then curl them in nice and tight. One more time, expand them out, and then curl them in. Good. Bringing the palms together now, interlace your fingers and start to circle at the wrists. Getting a bit of motion going on in the wrist. Try circling the other way. That can be a little awkward. We usually have a preferred way to move the wrist, but try going that opposite direction. Don't worry, you can always slow it down, get really deliberate in the motion. Good. And then bringing the hands back to center with those fingers interlaced, start to flip the palms forward, pressing them out towards the front. Now, if this aggravates any pain in the joints of the hands, you don't have to press quite as far, or you can always keep the fingers so that the palms are facing towards you. That's a little gentler on the hands. Good. Drawing the arms straight now. Let the shoulders lift up towards the ears and roll the shoulders back and down. Let's do that 2 more times. Take the shoulders up and back and down. Good. One more big circle there in the shoulders. Good. As the shoulders come down the back, keep them sliding down the back as the arms begin to lift higher and higher. Now remember, your arms don't have to go all the way up. You just go as high as is comfortable for your shoulders, depending on what's going on in your upper back, your shoulders. You'll take your arms as high as is comfortable. Good. Then as you exhale, your whole body's going to curve over towards your left. Then you're going to inhale to the center, exhale, curve over towards your right. Inhale back up into center, curving over towards the left. Beautiful. Back up into center and over towards the right. And center. One more time. Let's go on over towards the left. Pausing there on the left-hand side. Keep those arms as long as you can. And now put a little bit more weight in that right hip. Draw a bit more breath into the lungs. Really fill up here. And even as you exhale, keep that chest lifted. Then inhale one more time. We'll come back up into center. Let's go over towards the right. As you curve over towards the right, ensure here that your left hip doesn't feel like it's lightening off of the chair. Heavy that left hip down onto the chair. Fill up those lungs. Good. And then inhale back up into center and exhale, release the arms out and down. Take the palms forward now. Inhale the arms straight forward and up. As you exhale, turn the palms out and press the air down as the arms come to your sides. Good. Inhale forward and up. Exhale out and down. Let's reverse that. Take the palms out now to your sides. Lift the arms straight out and up. Big breath in. Turn the palms forward as you exhale them down. Good. Take again the palms up to the side as wide as you can. Inhale them up. Exhale them forward and down. One more time. Big wide motion with the arms all the way up. And then exhale forward and down. As they come forward and down now, let them come onto the knees. Give the knees a little bit of warming, rubbing here. So we'll warm up the joints of the knees. Good. You might warm up the tops of the thighs or the back of the thighs, or maybe the hips today. If the hips are feeling a little cold or stiff, take some time to warm up those joints. You might warm up the front and the back of the calves or the ankles if that's available. And then coming back with the hands on the nice warm kneecaps. Plopping your hands onto your kneecaps, straighten your arms, lift your chest up, lift your chin up and look up. Now be mindful here for the spine. If you have any injuries in the spine, any osteoporosis, you're not going to let the spine arc too much. You're going to keep more of a straight spine, getting as tall as you can. Then as you exhale, gently curl in. Again, minding the depth of the motion for yourself. Inhale, come forward with the belly, lift the chest, lift the chin. Exhale, curl down and in. Big motions with breath. Inhale. Exhale. Good. Inhaling. Exhaling. 2 more like this. Last one just like this. And of course, you can stay with this motion for a few more breaths if it's feeling good, or you can start to add in a circle here, taking the chest forward to the right, then exhaling, rounding in through center towards the left, starting to circle your upper body. And feel the joints through the upper body, through the spine, through the shoulders, through the neck, even through the jaw. Let these joints move a little bit here. And then change direction, circle the other way. Good. One more graceful circle here through center, then sitting up nice and tall, letting the arms hang at your sides. Now let the hands just drop towards the ground, let the arms get heavy, shoulders drawn back, sitting up nice and tall. Have a quick glance at your feet. You're placing your feet about the distance of your hips. So we're not thinking more of the wider fleshy hips, but more of the joint of the hips. So kind of where the thigh bone sits within the hip sockets. You're aligning your feet approximately to that position. So that will create a bit of space between the feet. And then as you look down, you want to be able to see your big toes slightly on the inside of your knees. This will place the feet so the heels are about below the knees. Good. Then from here, let's take hands on the hips and start to lift again those shoulders up, hug the elbows back, lift the chest up, lift the chin up, look up. If your shoulders allow, your hands might start to move back towards the back of your hips, turning your palms to face down onto the hips, lifting the chest. Now, if the shoulders don't appreciate that motion, that's okay. Bring the hands again to the hips. That'll feel a little nicer for the shoulders. But we're lifting here through the chest, a little baby back bend to help get that spine toned and moving energy, moving breath. Good. Then from here, as you come back up through center, the hands will slide around towards the thighs, slowly folding forward, elbows on the thighs. If there's concern for blood pressure here, you want to keep your head above your heart. If there's no concern for the blood pressure, or there's no concern for pressure behind the eyes, you might let your elbows slide off your legs and let your head hang forward. If you're hanging your head forward, you may interlace your hands here and rest your hands on the back of your head. That's just to give a little extra traction to the spine. So again, you're not trying to pull on your head at all. Your hands are just adding a little bit of weight there. Good. Then release your hands, let them come to wherever they easily fall. Maybe that's the feet, shins, maybe the knees. Then slide the hands up the legs as you inhale. Up past the belly, the chest, the shoulders, reach up, look up. Exhale, fold forward. Good, inhale, rolling up, sliding the hands up the front of the body, reaching up, looking up. Exhale, folding forward. Nice, inhale, rolling up. Exhale, folding forward. Good, inhale. Big sweeping motions, exhale. Nice, 2 more, inhale. Exhale, 1 more, big breath in, reach all the way up. Big exhale, breath, fold forward. Really nice, slowly rolling up now to your seat. Now we'll take the right leg up. You're gonna lift your right leg straight up. Take your hands underneath your right thigh to start. Good, and then inhale, straighten that right leg. Exhale, bend the knee. Inhale, straighten. Exhale, bend. Good, we'll add a little motion for the hip here. As you inhale, let the leg drop a little bit, lift the chest. As you exhale, bend the knee and hug the knee up. Good. Inhale, straighten the leg, let it come down a little. Exhale, bend the knee, lift it up. Good. Inhale, reaching out. Exhale, bending, lifting up. 1 more time like this. Inhale, reaching out. Exhale, bending and lifting up. Good. This time as you inhale, draw the leg out, flex the toes back. Make sure your toes are pointing there towards the ceiling. Good. And then maybe you start to release your hands. Maybe. Good. Just gonna see how that feels there. Maybe you keep a hold of the leg, that's okay too. If your hands are released, you might take your arms up overhead. It's okay if the leg is shaking a little bit, but make sure you're breathing here. You're not holding your breath. Good. Lift the chest up, sit as tall as you can. We'll take 1 more breath here. Then you're gonna slowly bend your right knee, place your right foot onto the floor, exhale, and fold forward. Hands again to the tops of the feet, the shins or knees, and roll up. Sweep up, look up, exhale, fold. Good, inhale, rolling up, sweeping up. Exhale, let it go, 1 more. And exhale, nice. Again, rolling up to your seat, sitting tall, arms at your sides, good. Then we're gonna lift the left leg up. Now be aware, often when we lift the leg up, we lean back. Keep yourself upright over your hips and take your hands underneath your left thigh. And for a little added fun today, you can try to interlace your fingers in the opposite way underneath your leg. So you have to do that by feel. You shift 1 finger over and then all the rest follow. And again, you're gonna inhale, straighten the left leg out. Exhale, bend the knee. Inhale, straighten. Exhale, bend. Good. Inhale, straighten. Let's add in a little bit motion for the hip. As you exhale, bend the knee, lift the leg up. As you inhale, straighten the leg, let it lower a little. Good. Exhale, bend and lift. Inhale, lower and straighten. Okay, let's do 2 more like that. Good. This time as you inhale and straighten that left leg out, keep it straight. Draw the toes back a little bit towards your face. You might hold the leg here, sitting up as tall as you can. You might release the grip of the hands from the leg. So we're using this leg strength, this deeper core muscles. Good, maybe you take your arms up overhead. Remember, it's okay if the leg is shaking. Keep the breath moving. Good, maybe even try to smile a little bit through this. Good, big full breaths here. And then slowly you're gonna bend your left knee and place the left foot down on the floor right where it came from and fold forward. Hands to the feet, shins or knees. Inhale, roll up. Reach up, look up. Exhale, fold down. Good. Inhale, rolling up, sweeping up. Good. Exhale, fold. 1 more like this. Inhale, rolling up, sweeping up, and we're gonna fold all the way down, all the way forward. Very nice. Good. And then hands to the knees. Lift yourself up to seated. And let's actually take the whole body now. You're gonna take your whole body and turn yourself towards the right-hand side of your chair. Good. So you're sitting on the right-hand side of your chair, and this means your left hip is probably along the front edge of your chair. As long as the chair remains steady, you might slide your left hip off the chair a little bit. This will give some room for the leg to move. Make sure though that both feet can be flat on the floor. You don't feel like your feet are hovering at all. If they are hovering, maybe place a book underneath them to give them a bit of support. If it feels okay for your hip, knee, and ankle, you might slide your left foot back into a little bit of a lunge. Be mindful of the joints though. Don't let the leg go too far back where you start to feel any pain. The back foot, the left foot might be tucked under or untucked, whatever the toes allow. If moving your leg back is not comfortable for you, that's okay. Keep both feet flat on the floor. Then from there, we'll take the left hand around towards the back of the chair and gently look over the back of the chair. Good. Big, full breaths here. I'm just showing you here what it looks like from the back of the chair as you're turning and looking over the back of the chair. Some of you might release your right arm and extend it out behind you, looking towards your right hand. Good. Press down equally into both feet, however the legs are. One more breath like this. Good. Then as you inhale, slowly unwind the upper body, and then you're going to slide your left foot up if it was reaching back. Walk yourself around to the other side of the chair. So pivoting around to the other side of the chair. This will place your right hip on the edge, the outer edge of the chair, and the left hips closer to the back of the chair. Again, you're welcome to keep both feet on the floor, so you don't have to glide one foot back into a lunge. You can keep both feet flat. If your right knee, hip, and ankle say it's okay, then the right leg might come back. Again, your right toes can be tucked under or untucked. Finding that position for your legs that feels okay for you. And you want to be mindful when working with chairs that the chair feels steady. Good. Then from there, the right hand will come around in front of you and sweep it around to the back of the chair. Pressing down into both feet, sitting nice and tall, inhaling here. Good. Then you might release that left arm and extend the left arm out behind you, looking towards those left fingertips. Good work. One more breath like this. Then on your inhale, slowly unwind, sliding your right foot now beside your left foot. Good work. Then you'll come to face the front of your chair. So coming again to sit mid-chair facing forward. If you have a strap or something you can use as a strap, go ahead and grab that. If you don't have a strap, don't worry about it at all. I'll give you an option to do without a strap. Good. If you have a strap, you're going to take the strap underneath your right foot. Holding the strap on in both hands. So you've got, holding both sides of the strap in your right hand. The strap is around your right foot, and just make sure that the strap is going just below the toes, that it's not at the arch, okay? Then you can start to open your right leg out to the side. If you're not using a strap for this one, if it's okay for your hip, you cannot use a strap and simply open the leg to the side. Or what I actually suggest is keeping the right heel on the floor and opening it out to the side. So if you have a strap, you're using the strap for a bit of support as you open the right leg out to the side. Then we'll take the left arm out to the opposite side. Pressing into your left foot, sit as tall as you can. Breathing here. Let's turn the left palm up towards the ceiling and curve over a little bit towards the right. Really draw back on that strap if you're using it. Then inhale back up into center. Exhale, curve over a little bit. Let that right elbow bend. Good. Inhale back up into center. One more time, let's curve over. Inhale back up into center, release that left arm down. Bring the right foot forward. Keep the right leg straight. If you're not using a strap here, you'll place your right foot on the floor, knee bent. If you're using a strap, you're gonna hold the strap now in the left hand. Take your right hand around behind you and gently look off towards your right. Draw out through your right heel. Nice and tall, big breaths. Then inhale back into center. Using the strap for some support, gently place the right foot on the floor. All right, let's do the other side. Let's take the strap underneath the left foot now, just below the left toes, and lift and extend the left leg forward. Now remember, if you're not using a strap, you might simply lift the left leg forward without a strap, or keep the left heel on the ground. Good. Then opening that left leg out to the left. So both sides of the strap are in, sorry, that's my dog. Both sides of the strap are in the left hand. Good. Opening the left leg out to the left. Good. Take the right arm out to the right now, and then lift that right arm up. Arc over to your left. Good. Come back up into center. So it's not a very big motion. We're just getting a little bit of balance motion going here. As we keep that leg lifted, it's very good. Come back up into center. One more time. Arc over towards your left. Good. Inhale, back up into center. Really nice. Release the right arm down. Bring that left leg forward. If you're not using a strap, let the left foot come onto the floor. If you're using a strap, place the strap in the right hand. Take the left hand around behind you and gently come into your twist. Breathing here in your twist. Good job. Good. As you inhale, unwind, coming back into center. Use your strap for support as you place your left foot on the floor. You can set your strap off to the side now. We're going to take the right leg again. Good boy. We're going to take the right leg again. This time, we're going to extend it straight forward on the floor. So you can't quite see right now because my dog wants to be on camera. But your right leg is extended with the right heel on the ground. Then you're going to open your right leg out to the side. Later, come. Like that, yeah. So your right leg's extended to the side. My suggestion for this posture is then to also open the left leg out to the side. Now, if your hips don't allow for this, or maybe your doctor's recommended not letting your legs go wide like this, that's okay. Take them so they're more straightforward. Good. So otherwise, your right leg's extended out to the right, your left knee is bent, but your left leg is opening out to the left. Good. We'll take the right hand now onto the right thigh, the left arm out to the left, turn the palm up. As your right hand starts to glide down the leg, take your left arm up overhead. Press strong into that left foot. That's going to help keep you balanced here. Be mindful of the spine, only going as far as your body allows comfortably, and then breathing where you are. Soften what can be softened here. Good work. Nice. So on your inhale, rise back up. Slowly exhale that left arm down. You're going to slide that right foot in and then glide the left leg out. So now the left leg is extended out to the left, or depending on what's happening on your hip, you might have it straight forward. If you have your left leg out to the left, take that right knee out a little wider as well. That will help with balance. And of course, you're probably sitting a little bit more forward on your chair, so make sure you're stable there. Then as your left hand comes onto the left thigh, the right palm will open out to the right. Taking that right arm up, the left hand will send down the leg, curving over the body with that right arm. Good. Wherever you are here, you're pressing down into your right foot and your left heel. Inhaling and exhaling through the nose, letting what can soften to soften. Good work. 2 more breaths like this. Then inhale, rise back up into center. Gently glide that left foot back onto the floor. Keep your feet wide apart, knees bent, toes turned out, hands on the knees. Let's lean forward now between the legs, so spine is long, taking your belly onto your right thigh. Inhaling now, lift the spine up, lean back over to your left. Exhale, down and across. Just a bit of circular motion here for the hips to clean out any tension in the hips we may have built. The key now is to keep that spine nice and straight and long. Take the motion into your hips. Let's try circling the other way. Good. One more big circle here. Coming back up to sit tall, walking the feet in. So I want to make sure here, and for this posture, I'm just going to turn myself sideways so you can see. You can stay just as you are. This way you can see where I'm sitting in the chair. So I'm actually halfway here in the chair. I'm not as far forward as I was a moment ago, but I'm not all the way back. Then from here, in our seated Tadasana, you're going to take your arms forward and up, lifting them just as high as is comfortable. From here, lift the chest up. And for some of you, you might stay here just like this in our chair pose. For some of you, you might lift the right foot to hover from the floor. And then you might place the right foot down and lift the left foot up to hover. And you might continue to shift like that from side to side. For others, you may start to come into a boat pose. Now to lift both feet from the floor is a lot of work for the core. So make that work happen. Be very conscious of the work in the belly. Keep the chest lifted. If you're coming into our boat pose, you might take your body and lean back a little bit, but keep the spine upright. Try not to round. Keep everything long, and then extend those legs out. Lift the chest up. Look up. Big, beautiful breaths here. Good. Big, beautiful breaths. Again, you can have your feet lifted, or maybe for you, your feet are on the floor. That's okay too. We've got one more breath. If both feet are lifted, gently bend the knees, place the feet down, rest the elbows on the thighs. Looking forward, breathing deeply. Good. Placing your hands on your thighs, slowly bring yourself back up to seated. Again, feet are that hip distance apart, toes pointing forward. We're going to take the right leg back up. Hands now can come around the right shin if that's available, and if the knee allows. Sometimes holding the shin puts a lot of pressure on the knee, so you might continue to hold at the back of the thigh. That's okay too. Otherwise, holding around the shin, give the leg a squeeze. Long, smooth breaths here. And then gently release that right foot down. Let's take the left leg up. Do the same on the other side. Hugging that left leg in. Make sure the shoulders are being gently released downwards from the ears, so we're not shrugging them up. All right, and then release the left foot down. And once again, I'm going to turn myself sideways here so you can see as we come into our seated bridge pose. So once again, I'm sitting a little bit further forward on the chair. The feet are flat on the floor. That's really important. The feet are hip distance apart, toes forward. Then your hands can come around and hold the sides of the back of the chair. Now, if doing that aggravates your shoulders at all, remember your hands can always rest on your hips. If you're holding onto the back of the chair, let your elbows bend a little bit so your shoulders can come back. Then we're going to let the sit bones and tailbone drop a little bit heavier into the chair. So put a little bit more weight in the back of the hips, then lift the chest up. Draw the shoulders back, elbows bent, lift the chin up, look up. Be mindful of the spine here. If you have any concerns along your spine, stay as you are here. Lengthen and breathe. If there's no concern for the spine, with the elbows bent, you can start to curve your back a little bit, keeping that weight in the back of the hips. Hands might travel down the sides of the chair, lifting the chest, looking up. Breathing here. Good job. Nicely done. Let that throat open. Let the breath move. On your next inhale, slowly come back up. Hands to the thighs. Close your eyes if it feels okay for you. Let your natural breath return. And then from here, we'll come into a simple twist. Again, sitting mid-chair. The left hand's going to come across to the right thigh. I'll give you an option. For those of you whose hip will allow, you can lift your right leg up and bring your, sorry, wrong leg. Lift your left leg up and bring your left foot onto your right thigh. That's an option for those whose joints will allow that. But if your knee and hip won't allow that today, that's okay. Your left hand will come across to your right thigh with both feet on the floor, right hand around behind you. If you have your left foot lifted, you can hold on to that left foot as you twist to the right. Deepen your breathing here. Close your eyes maybe and try to feel your breath more along the back side of the body. Then inhale to unwind. Holding onto your legs, gently slide that left foot off, place the foot to the floor. Switching sides, you might take your right foot up and across. Again, only if that's appropriate for you. Otherwise, keep your right foot on the floor. The right hand will come across, the left hand will come behind you into your twist here. Good. As you inhale, unwind, gently supporting the lifted leg if it's there, placing the foot on the floor. So for today's practice, to take a Savasana in the chair, there's a few things that might be helpful to create a really comfortable Savasana. Now, of course, because you're practicing at home on your own, you're welcome to take your Savasana on the floor if that's how you practice. But if you'd like to try a Savasana in the chair today, I'll show you how to set up in that. So this time you're going to sit all the way to the back of the chair. And if you're built anything like me, as you do that pretty much on any chair, your feet will dangle from the chair. So we want to make sure the feet have some support. So if your feet dangle, you want to place blocks or some similar sized books or pillows underneath your feet. So your feet are actually resting on a firm surface. And then you can allow yourself to settle back. Now, if you have a strap or a scarf, you might take that strap or scarf or belt even underneath the thighs. We're going to strap up the thighs here to give the hips some reprieve. Now again, this is just an option. All of these options here are up to you and up to what you have on hand. So if you don't have some of these supplies on hand, that's okay. You just come to sit as comfortably as you can in your chair. That will be your Savasana for today. If you have a strap, you're going to strap up the legs around the thighs. So not down at the knees or up at the hips, but kind of mid-thigh, making the strap tight enough so that the legs are aligned with the hips, right? We're talking again about the thigh bone sitting in the hip socket, so they're not too wide or too narrow. The feet can rest comfortably on the floor or on blocks. And this way the hips, the thighs now can kind of settle out into the strap with some support. Now I'm lucky I have a bolster on hand that I can use across my lap. A nice big pillow or a couple stacked pillows would work well as well. And you could rest your arms there. This gives a bit of release for the shoulders. Settling now back into the chair. If you're wearing glasses, go ahead and remove your glasses. If you have a blanket and you'd like to drape a blanket over yourself, you're welcome to do that as well. And now begin to close your eyes, letting the eyelids grow heavier and heavier. Not coming towards sleep, but more towards a place of deep self-awareness and ease. Feeling the support of your body against the chair. Give into that support. Let all of your muscles soften so the bones sink down into the chair. And the breath has full freedom to move here as it wishes. You are simply watching all of this occur. Staying present with the body, the breath, even watching the thoughts that cycle through the mind. Recognizing that these thoughts occur all the time and are simply thoughts. We are that capacity to watch, to witness. We are not those thoughts. Take a few moments now to rest here in some quiet. And I'll bring us back to close the practice. Keeping your body just as it is. Once again, notice your breathing without trying to change or control your breath at all. Notice your body sitting on the chair without actually opening the eyes to look, but to feel your body and how it's positioned. You might notice that you've started to round forward or drop back a little bit through the head and shoulders. You might notice that you're sitting with more weight in one hip than the other. No judgment here, just simply observing how has the body come into its restful state. In that growing awareness of where you are and how you are, start to move your body in little ways. Maybe wiggling fingers, maybe wiggling toes. Just easing some movement back in. Again, you might wiggle the jaw or move your tongue around in your mouth, swallowing once or twice. As you feel yourself growing back into this present moment, you can remove your props, anything that might feel a little restrictive for you here. Just go ahead and remove them. Coming back to sit upright in the chair, maybe a little bit forward so your spine is lifted from the back of the chair. Palms coming to touch in front of the heart into Anjali Mudra. As we mark the closing of this practice, this time together, it's important to recognize that we make choices in our day of how we spend our time. And we can choose things for various reasons. There's not necessarily right or wrong reasons, but just our reasons. And today you chose to practice. Today you chose to take time to watch and witness your body, your mind, your breath, to learn, to move, to breathe, and to maybe feel just a little bit better. Well, thank you all so much for joining in practice today. Namaste.